What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Monday Night Madness is in the building. I am your host, Andre the Torch Robinson, is here with a couple of phenomenal guys that you can't see at the moment, but you will see in just a second. Starting off with my guy from Friday Night Lights. He just entered the room in the building. Rise Up Family Zone. Marcus the Alphabets. What's up, Marcus?
What's going on? I saw the intro. Is this the Everything Buffalo show or is this Monday Night Madness?
Dude, that was a Monday Night Madness video. Shut up.
Okay, this check it. All I saw were the Buffalo Bills.
All right, bam. Mutant Mike already off the jump because you should know the difference between the two videos. Terrible. Also, got my guy right here up here with the Buffalo Bills. Speaking of the Bills, got the Buffalo Bills looking like the Grinch who stole Christmas, but he's, yep, there he is. Joe Monster McDowell. Joe, what's good, man?
It's all about the Grinch. I'm the happiest fucking guy you know all the time.
That's good. I like to hear that. I hope you be the happiest guy on this show today. Like and share, by the way, because we got another guy all the way from you know where.
South Beach. Trying to talk over people. That's why you muted.
The South Beach phenomenon. The South Beach phenomenon. You know, he got a little South Beach diet this week going on, but nevertheless, my guy Jay Renat, the tank, Jay Renat. What's good, Jay?
You know, it's all good. It's all good. And I showed up. Just so you know, Monster, see? We lose, I show up.
Oh, boy.
I don't hide.
I don't
listen. Excuses.
I need you. I don't ever show up. Like, it's not when we lose, when we win. Like, I never show up for anything. Like, you're lucky I'm here. So you can't say when it's when we win or lose. Like, you don't see me when we win either half the time. Like, I don't show up.
Now, with that being said,
right here. I need you right here. You know, it's amazing to me. I was told about this team that was just awesome. They had this indestructible offense.
Go ahead, because you got like 10 seconds and I'm hitting the mute button.
It's just amazing. This indestructible offense that was just going to mow through everybody and their calcium deficient quarterback who gets hurt when you sneeze on him. Obviously, he's going to just take over the NFL. 5 weeks ago, he's not the guy. Now they go on a winning streak. He's the best quarterback. He's the MVP. It's just amazing. People are so easily impressed. These are the same people that think Taco Bell is gourmet Mexican food, man. It's just amazing to me, man. Really, very amazing.
With that being said, we got a great show coming up for you guys. Marcus the Alphabet early, starting on Jay Renat. Jay Renat, you will have all the chances in the world to respond. I promise you, you will have all the chances in the world to respond. We are going to be talking about Week 13 NFL football. We'll talk about college football playoffs as well, and a whole lot more, because I got some things to show. First and foremost, I got some segments. I got some photos. Of course, I'm going to start with this one as we enter Week 13 football talk. Monster, you know, we already started off the week with the 24-10 Bills and Patriots beat down, or the Buffalo Bills beating down the Patriots. I mean, Benjamin Franklin wasn't there. Ethan Allen wasn't there. Paul Revere wasn't there. You know, they probably would have put up a better fight. Those Patriots probably would have put up a better fight against the Bills on Thursday night. But nevertheless, yeah, man, talk about that real quick as we get this thing warmed up. All right. Talk about that.
The best part wasn't even seeing us win. It was seeing the Patriots lose, because what I've seen as the season's progressed on, Bill Belichick fucking quits. He gives up. He tucks his books, he takes his lickings, and he leaves. He doesn't fight it out anymore. That's the most gratifying thing to see. The run game was fine. It was 24-10. It wasn't a great game. There was not a lot of explosive plays. Fucking W is a W. I don't care how you get it, and I'm sure none of you gentlemen do, either. So, I mean, that's what it is. Seeing Belichick just give the fuck up and just see the look on his face, it's gratifying. It's like watching an ex-girlfriend get kicked out of her house.
Mm-hmm. All right. With that being said, I just wanted to start off with that game real quick. Yeah, it wasn't a great game. I mean, Josh Allen, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns. Defense looked good. They kept the New England Patriots to 255 yards. Total offense in that game. Mac Jones wasn't able to throw 3 times and win a football game this go round. So it was fulfilling to watch that. To see that the defense stepped up very well. It was also good to see Trey White playing out there, which we all said was going to be a help to that secondary that's been hurting. It also was good to watch Xavier Rhodes. So with that being said, we got to move on to some segments. I wanted to
That being said, is Hines going to finish with a lower overall season average for yards than the Bills Reggie Bush did? He's like -22 or some shit this year rushing.
Yes, he is. He is. He's gonna end the season with less yards than Reggie Bush. Yes, which proves that Nyheim Hines should have never been a pick. Marcus the Alphabets is trying to talk. I hear him. Go ahead, Marcus.
But I was told that Nyheim Hines was brought in to train up James Cook.
I told you that was the only excuse I could come up with is to bring him in to get him up to speed. I told you that.
Hang on. I want to know, though, how does a guy
I don't like the
came onto a team, how is he going to train up a guy who was drafted and went through mini camp and rookie camp and all that? How is he going to do that?
Because Nyheim Hines was a professional, played in the NFL longer. Just because you go through training camp and all that stuff doesn't mean that you're ready for NFL action. Ask Nathan Peterman. The same thing. AJ McCarron came in to try to train Nathan Peterman, and we all know how that turned out. So, I mean, that doesn't mean just because you go through training camp that you're somebody special now. Let's be clear on that. With that being said, though, I'm just going to say that I tried to come up with any excuse for the Nyheim Hines pick because I didn't like it to begin with, and everybody knows that. Now, the Buffalo Bills are 9-3, and we are moving on from the Buffalo Bills because we got to start this joint off hot to trot, and it would start off with this because someone is right here, and a certain someone got a lot of right here explaining and do. So let's put up the first slide, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the wrong one. I'm sorry. My bad. Excuse me. I'm sorry. No, actually, it was the right one. Jimmy G breaks his foot, will miss the rest of the season. 49ers. We'll talk about him in a second, but this is the right one. Sir. It's the J. Renard. It's the J. Renard. Matter of fact, everybody, before Jay start talking and explaining, his new nickname is Main Event Jay. By the way, Jimmy wasn't even around for this one, okay? Jimmy was not around for this Main Event Jay, so you got to explain on how you and your phenomenal team
offense. Our offense is us. How are they going to keep us? We fans up. Fans up. Everybody come. No one's giving us any respect.
Here we go. I'm muting them on that. Jay, get to talking. Bro. Explain. Let's go.
First of all, did he really beat the Dolphins? Did he really? No, he didn't really beat the Dolphins. The defense beat the Dolphins.
No, you
okay. He didn't beat the Dolphins. He had okay numbers. But he wasn't the reason that the Dolphins lost that game. Bosa and that defensive line was what lost the game for the Dolphins.
Beat the Bills.
We had both
beat the Bills. Wait a minute, same thing, but it's not, right?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Tackles.
I can't.
Game. We both starting tackles out of the game. Let me say that again. Both starting tackles out of that game. That game goes differently if Armstead is in. That game goes completely differently.
Really?
We stun them from the first play of the game. From jump. 7-0
We had
Fins.
9 starters on. We played the Dolphins. Y'all don't give a fuck. It's true.
I just Jay Renard, you gotta do better than that. Come on, I want to hear some more, or I'm passing it along to your counterparts. This is ridiculous. Is that what you get? That's your excuse for getting beat by Mr. Irrelevant?
Wait a minute. That number one defense kind of showed up, but Hill kind of still exploited that defense. I think, right? Right? I don't know. Did Hill have 180 yards, 60 yards? I don't even know what the hell he ended up with, but he ended up with 160 something yards, 1 touchdown. That's a pretty good game. That's a lot better than what Diggs against the Patriots defense.
I love how you try to revert it right back to
the
Buffalo Bills.
Tua's got to own this game because Tua overthrew Waddle. I don't know how many times, underthrown guys. It was ridiculous. He wasn't on. His whole clock in his head.
$146. You were a little high on those predictions, Mark.
Yeah, go ahead.
$146.
Yeah, $146.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's close enough. He had a touchdown.
Mike,
The takeaways are.
I swear to God, I think I need to bring the People's Court music in. Maybe this will make it a little bit easier for Jay Renard right now. Mr. Do I need to bring the People's Court music in? Because maybe I should. Tyreek Hill's 146 yards did nothing. Please explain again why you got beat by Mr. Irrelevant. I'm not hearing it. I mean, I saw the numbers. The numbers are very similar. Tua and Brock Purdy, by the way, who doesn't even have an NFL picture. He doesn't even have a profile picture on NFL.com. You got beat by Mr. Irrelevant. He threw not 1 touchdown, but 2. He's the first quarterback ever.
Miami's on the road against a caliber team. So you gotta put that on the table. Are you kidding me? This isn't like losing to Jacksonville in Jacksonville. We're talking about the 49ers. Oh, what's their defense? It's ranked 1. Miami went into that road game against the number 1 defense, missing 2 offensive linemen. 2 of them.
Jay Renard, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you.
Completely
I would believe. Hold on, Jay. I would believe that if I didn't hear you all week talking stuff about the 49ers all week, sir. See, I was sitting back watching, and you was talking big stuff about the Niners this week. Oh, the Niners, and they did it without Jimmy G, sir. I don't want to hear you get no excuse for this. No excuse whatsoever. I just want you to say, you know what? The Dolphins should have played better. I can't believe you. You know what? I'm moving on. I got to move on. We'll get back to you. I want to hear some more excuses on why you got beat by Mr. Irrelevant. But Marcus the Alphabets, I see you over here talking. Marcus, shine some light on this, please.
Okay, what it is? What it is? You don't you don't get to do. Look, I'm pretty. Everybody knows I'm pretty hard on Buffalo Bills fans. Everybody knows I'm pretty hard on Buffalo. So today, this is your week, my friend. This is your week, my friend. You don't get to say we're missing 2. You don't get to say we're missing 2 offensive linemen, and stick. Aren't you in my Pick'ems league? You're in my Pick'ems league, the Alphabets Pick'ems league, right?
He know that.
You did know that. You did know that those offensive linemen were going to be out, right?
Yeah, he knew that.
Go like this. Do the bobblehead. Yes, I did know that. And you still chose the Dolphins. Your homerism came through, and you still picked the Dolphins. Now, I get on certain people around here about being a super homer fan. Now's your time. That was a super homer fan pick. You thought, the 49ers haven't played anybody. Oh, they've never seen an offense like ours. No, what it is that they play a physical style of football, and when you went out of the division, you ain't ever seen no defense like that. And by the way, they're not the number 1 defense. The Dallas Cowboys are, with the most sacks and the most takeaways. What it is you got
the defense got hurt because we had it for the first 5 weeks of the season.
What it was is you went into a hornet's nest and you got roughed up with your calcium deficient bones quarterback, and he got roughed up. That's what happened. Now, I told you after the Bengals game when he got body slammed, when he got tombstone pile drive by the Bengals, I told you when you saw another defense that was physical like that, what was going to happen to him. Tua does not respond well to pressure. Bosa and them boys, and they got up in them. And the thing is, here's the thing. Once you go from hunter to hunted, it's a different story. Isn't it right, Bills fans? Y'all are seeing that now, Miami. Guess what? Because you all have been running your mouths and ain't won nothing. You know, y'all talk a lot of smack about the Buffalo Bills. What if the Miami Dolphins won? What have y'all won? Y'all haven't won a Super Bowl since 72. Y'all haven't won a Super Bowl since before I was born. And I'm probably the oldest person on this panel right here. So you don't get to sit up here and beat your chest and say what a team hasn't done. And your team has been picking in the top 5 for the past 10 years. You don't get to sit up here and you have one little good season. I remember earlier because I've done shows with you, and it was, nobody respects us. They're going to respect us this year. We're knocking the Bills off. You had a great game. You did beat the Bills without most of their firepower, but you did beat them. You did beat them, and we gave you credit for that. So just like we're going to give you credit for a win, you're going to take this shellacking when you lose. And it's not just that you lost. It's not just that you lost. It's who you lost to. You lost to Brock Purdy, the last player picked in the draft. Now, I understand he wasn't out there by himself. The 49ers have a very star-studded cast. They got Christian McCaffrey. They got Debo. They got Kittle. They got Bosa. But the bottom line is
this picture wasn't even purdy enough for NFL pro.
You got whipped, and everybody who plays the Miami Dolphins going forward, you know what I call a certain wide receiver from the Buffalo Bills boom or bust. Well, guess what? Your whole team is boom or bust. Either y'all score 50 points and y'all just blow everybody off the charts, or you get roughed up, which is what happened to you yesterday. You got roughed up. They got physical with you. They pushed you around. Y'all got bullied and got punched in the mouth yesterday. That's it.
Is it my turn last?
Yeah, Monster, go ahead. Go ahead. I know you've been waiting on this.
Absolutely not.
Wake up, bum ass Dolphins fans. Tua's not that guy. You see Joe Burrow? He's not Tua. You see Josh Allen? Not Tua. You see Patrick Mahomes? That's not Tua either. Shit, he's not even Bobby Herbert. You got a head coach that looks like he still pays for sex. Like, it's not going to happen for you. Like, you guys are bumping your chest out, and the season's not even over yet. It's not even over yet. Wake up, Dolphins fans, bum asses. You ain't getting nowhere. Tua's got that fucking guy now.
No one gives us our respect. No one gives us our respect. Tua's an MVP.
All right, let's let Jay respond real quick. Jay, go ahead and respond to that.
Why are you in your car? Your old lady kicked you out? Why you sound like shit?
First of all, you guys are smoking some good shit because literally, like I said, Miami went into San Francisco without their 2 starting offensive linemen, first of all. Bosa owned the Dolphins. I'm going to say it. Bosa owned the Dolphins. Absolutely. He disrupted that whole offense single-handedly, just like Jason Taylor used to do back in the day. I mean, I haven't seen a performance by an end like that in a long time. And Bosa just owned it. And I'm owning the loss. But you guys are out of your minds if you think this is the end of the Dolphins. Dude, we're going to get it right in L.A. We're going to fix that right up. And we're coming right up to Buffalo. And we're going to kick you guys right in the nuts.
We'll be waiting.
Oh, boy. By the way, that game has already been flexed for a Saturday night game, by the way. I will be there.
While you're here, I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate you on actually beating an AFC East team. Bravo, brother. Good job. How long?
That's the guy who lost to Mr. Irrelevant. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What?
3 months to get an AFC East win. And you guys are Super Bowl contenders? Get the fuck out of here.
We're
Every
number
time
one in the
every
AFC.
time
Yeah,
you
we're
say
Super
that-
Bowl contenders, dipshit. We're
Hold
number
on.
one.
Every time he says that, though, I gotta put up the Mr. Irrelevant. Every single time, bro. You lost to Brock Petty, somebody that sounds like. Look,
We
he
still are
sounded
Super Bowl favorite, partner.
sounded like the second.
We're going to be 12-5. We're 8-4.
Jay,
So we still have one more hit.
Jay, I need you to suck it up. You lost to a guy who sounded like the second choice to be Venom in a Spider-Man movie. Like, serious. Brock Purdy. Good job with that. He sound like he take pictures for a living. He's sitting up here trying to excuse the reason why Miami got beat 33-17.
I gotta say this though, Torch. I think the thing that was most disappointing to me was I thought the Miami defense was a little bit better. I thought that they were a little bit better. I was not impressed with the defense yesterday, and what I saw Tua regress yesterday. When the heat that they put on him yesterday. Now you have to have the personnel to do certain stuff. Now I believe when healthy, the Buffalo Bills have the personnel to do it. We don't know what's going to happen with Von Miller. I think to beat when you see them again, you're going to have a healthy Von Miller. Now I don't know what the status is, but I don't think that just Ed Oliver and AJ Epinesa and Ed Oliver and AJ. Well, I just think that game's in 2 weeks. I don't know if y'all have the defense now. I think that there was a blueprint put out yesterday to get up into his face. That was the thing right there. Get into his face, put maximum pressure on him. Now that's what you brought in. Von Miller for. I think the next time you see them, it will be more of a. I think you'll see a little bit more Jeff Wilson Jr. because that was the key yesterday. That pressure that Bosa and them boys put on them, and also y'all had no answer for Christian McCaffrey. No answer for Christian McCaffrey. No answer for Deebo Samuel. None. Just no answer for him. So again, you're not going to find many teams like the 49ers, but you saw yesterday. Just like whenever
read what I did. Read what did Samuel do and what did Ayuk do against us? Nothing.
But that's the thing. What did Waddle do against him?
I remember Howard getting up against Ayuk and grabbing that interception.
Okay, I got you on that. But here's the thing
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about is that's what when teams have a whole bunch of good. What did Waddle do yesterday? You were talking about Tyreek. What did Waddle do yesterday?
No, Marcus, I got the answer for that. It's real simple. One catch, 9 yards. One catch. 9 yards.
See, that's what happens.
Marcus, I got an answer for something else too. He mentioned Tyreek Hill. That's why Christian McCaffrey's 146 yards overall total offense was more potent than Tyreek Hill's.
But let me. I want to answer his question. You said what did Ayuk and other guys did? That's the problem. Whenever you have a team that has a bunch of weapons, is if you stop one of them, it's like okay, that's fine. You take this guy away. Well, we're gonna punish you with this other guy. Okay, you can take away this guy over here. Well, we're gonna grind you with Christian McCaffrey. Y'all had no answer for Christian McCaffrey.
None.
Just like yesterday, they couldn't seem to stop Tyreek Hill, right? Tyreek Hill had a great day, and Jalen Waddle did absolutely nothing. Jeff Wilson Jr. did absolutely nothing. Raheem Mostert did absolutely nothing. Mike Gesicki did absolutely nothing.
Mike Gesicki didn't even pinch a catch. He didn't pinch a catch. Neither did he catch a ball. Neither did he have any yards.
That's what makes really good. That's what makes really good teams really good. It's like if you take throwing a basketball analogy in there. Okay, you shut down Kobe, then Shaq kills you. You shut down Shaq, Kobe kills you. You shut down Shaq and Kobe, Robert Horry kills you. You can't stop everything. It's like you got 3 or 4 holes in a boat and you're putting patches in there. Okay, you put a patch over here. Well, it's going to start leaking over here. Then you put a patch over here, it's leaking over there. That's what makes them so good, is that they got so many weapons that it's like whatever if you stop one of them, it's like the Hydra. You remember the old myth of the Hydra back in Greek mythology?
Listen.
If you cut off one head, 2 more will appear. It's kind of hard to fight somebody when you cut the head off and 2 more heads appear. That's what happened to y'all yesterday. Y'all stopped one person and 2 more heads appeared.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure enough. Here's something that you need to see though, real quick. The 49ers, and then I'm gonna go to Monster. By the way, the 49ers. That's their defensive rankings, by the way, folks. Number 1 in points, number 1 in yards, number 1 in yards per rush, number 1 in
they haven't played anybody, but they haven't played anyone.
And touchdown to interception ratio, number 1.
What are they going to do with our offense? What are they going to do with they haven't played anybody. They're playing against the Rams, who are all hurt. They're padding their stats. What are they going to do against Waddle and Hill? What are they going to do? Who can stop this unstoppable offense? We're the juggernaut. Once we get going, nothing can stop us.
All right. Monster.
Yeah, Torch.
Your thoughts again on this. Your thoughts again on this Dolphins 49ers.
Well, my thing is this, Torch. Jay Renault's kind of new to the game. We've been doing this a long time. Now, when the Bills shit the bed before Josh Allen, every single week I got on here and I did what? I fucking blasted him. You did this wrong. This guy sucked. You fucked up. We played like ass. Jay Renault's not willing to do that. It's the 49ers pass rush, and we were missing 2 offensive linemen. He won't be prideful enough to just own the fact that his team played like shit. Like, come out and say they played like shit. Don't excuse it. Don't bring up injuries, because it didn't matter when the Bills had half their team out. Miami still stuck their dicks out and was like, yeah, fuck Buffalo. That's fine, buddy. That's what you're supposed to do. Your team won. But when they play like shit, it's also your job to own it.
Right.
Which you're willing to do. I don't know if he heard any of that, but that's what separates us.
I still think
earn it.
I think Miami still has a good team. I think they got a really good team. Fortunately for you, you don't see a team. I don't know if there's a team that's built like the 49ers in the AFC. So I would have maybe said maybe the Texans, but the Texans, their wide receiver core is not that good. They will pound you with Derrick Henry, but if they get behind, you can't. They're really kind of stuck in. They're really stuck in the mud. The Bills, to me, they're not a power run team. They're more of a light you up. Throw the ball all over the field. So I don't know if I would have said the Ravens. I don't know what's going to happen with Lamar Jackson. They kind of pee on themselves at the end of games. So fortunately, the Chiefs aren't really that. Maybe the Bengals, because they got and sometimes it's just like I say all the time, styles make fights. Sometimes it's a bad matchup for you. The Bills, they in the playoffs, they can't seem to beat the Chiefs. The Bengals, they beat the Chiefs every time they see them. It's just because they can actually match up against them. The Bengals can actually throw the ball around to Jamar Chase, to T. Higgins, and then when they get into crunch time, they can pound you to death with Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon. So fortunately, in the AFC, you're not going to really see anything like that. But now you see what a physical football team looks like. And when you're playing finesse football with speed and somebody hits you in the mouth and pushes you around, it's a different story.
All right. Real quick, before we talk about the Jimmy G injury, I just thought that Miami was going to spread them out and make them play the whole field. I thought that was going to be the recipe for them trying to beat the 49ers. They did it on the first play with Sherfield. I mean, that 75-yard little quick and go, Sherfield took off. I thought that's how they was going to play the whole game, the entire game, but they went away from that. So, again, I think that's a coaching issue. right off the jump, not going with what you saw it work on the first play. Why not continue to keep going to it?
Well, they did try to. What happened was then Tua kept getting hit, and then they started leaving tight ends and stuff into it. That's the thing about it. When you spread them out like that, that's all fine and well, but then you're leaving. You don't have that much protection, and Tua ain't the most durable person in the world. He started taking them hits and stuff, and they're like, if he keeps taking these hits like this, he ain't gonna make it. So they started leaving a tight end in. They start using juice check. They started leaving Gesicki in. They started leaving people in because they were already down 2 offensive linemen. So it was like, if you keep trying to spread it out and go 3 wide receiver, we're gonna keep hitting your quarterback. It was a brilliant game plan.
Yeah, and what I take away from it, and this is completely objective. This isn't trying to shit on Dolphins fans or whatever. But what I saw last night was just the pressure that Tua was under. Just he wasn't able to make the play. It was overthrown or it was underthrown. He wasn't able to come up and get out of that pressure more times than not. He went down. He made the wrong throw. Like your escapability that Mahomes has, that Josh has, that you know what I'm saying, that Lamar Jackson definitely has. Can you get out of that pressure and make a play and extend it? And I didn't see that from Tua at all. And I think Tua's a good quarterback. I said it before. I think he's a good quarterback. I think the Dolphins have a hell of a team. They scare the shit out of him. But you know what I'm saying? That's, as an objective fan, that's what I saw last night. You know what I mean? There's certain quarterbacks that under a certain amount of pressure, they can heed that pressure, keep poised, and make a play. And I didn't see too many from Tua last night. You know what I mean? And that's, like I said, not to shit on the Dolphins fans. I'm speaking objectively, just watching the game as a fan. That's what I saw.
All right. We also saw,
absolutely.
all right. We also saw that the 49ers, even in victory, took a loss this week as Jimmy G has multiple breaks in his foot, will be out for the remainder of the season. How much impact does this have? So I've been listening, and I've heard that this Jimmy G situation impacts a lot of different things. Number one, we'll talk about a certain veteran quarterback. I don't know if I want to call him veteran, but certain quarterback might be getting called up. We also heard that this spins the carousel as far as the playoff picture is concerned. As far as Dallas is concerned, we can get into all that a little bit later as we get into these games. But Jimmy G being off of this 49ers team, how much effect does that have? And I want y'all to be quick.
Look, the 49ers don't do anything fancy. They have a very vanilla game plan. They want to be physical with you. They want to run the ball. They want to get the ball very quickly in the Deebo Samuel's hand, very quickly in the George Kittle's hand. They're not a big strike team. What they want to do is beat you up and be physical. Well, when you got a quarterback like that, this takes them back to their roots. I don't think it now. Is Brock Purdy as good as Jimmy G? No. Although Dolphins fans may disagree, but keep the game plan simple. Keep the game plan simple. Run the ball. Use little jet sweeps with Deebo Samuel. Quick passes to Kittle, Ayuk, and maybe every now and then toss the ball down the field to. I like that Jawan Jennings kid. He's really good. He's got a little bit of speed. And play good defense. That defense is nasty. Nick Bosa is a problem. He passed by Michael Parsons, but he's a good. That defense is nasty. They scare me because where we want to go, we're going to have to deal with them. Now, I think we have a little bit more. I think our defense is a little bit better suited to deal with them because we got a person like Michael Parsons. We got people like DeMarcus Lawrence, but. Keep the game plan simple. This takes it back. Run the football. Christian McCaffrey looked great last night. I feel a little bit more comfortable. They still had Elijah Mitchell healthy, but But, I don't think this really changes anything. I think the 49ers are going to do what they do because it's not a whole bunch of tossing the ball around and things like that.
Monster.
I know it's worse, watching Jay Renaud eat or talking about the 49ers. Jimmy G is okay. He's a game manager. Like you said, that team's not built to win on the quarterback, whereas to say like the Bills they're not built that way. Okay, you go post Montana, post Steve Young. Do you remember the last time they had a successful quarterback that you don't remember because they ran the ball and were powerful?
I don't know. They were pretty good with Kaepernick.
Jeff, what's his name? Jeff Smith.
Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia.
No, before him.
Jeff Garcia.
It was like Jeff Smith or something like that.
Jeff Garcia.
It wasn't Jeff Garcia, fucking Marcus. It's not Jeff Garcia. I forgot who it was, but I'll think of it. But yeah, he's a game manager. Like, you don't need a real skilled player in that system and the way that team is. Like you said, get the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers, and let your defense.
Oh, you meant Alex Smith. You meant Alex Smith.
Alex, no, it was before that. I'm gonna look it up.
Alex Smith, the game manager. Alex Smith was right there right before Kaepernick. Alex Smith. He was another
before that, like right after Steve Young type period.
That was Jeff Garcia.
No, he was old.
Yeah, it was. It was Garcia.
That's not who I'm thinking of. I don't think.
I don't know what you're thinking. I'm telling you all the quarterbacks that they had. That was Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia played with T.O.
Hold on, players. I don't think it was.
Well, while you looking that up, I think once again this just shows how valuable Jimmy G is to the 49ers. We get to see what Brock Purdy is going to do. I'm sure that Shanahan will make it easy for him, as easy as possible.
Okay, what's up, Garcia? I'm a douchebag. You're right.
I don't know. I've just been watching football for 40 years. What do I know?
I didn't think he was Spanish. My bad.
All right. With that being said, ain't no Spanish in what's going on right now as far as Jimmy G is concerned. No Spanish with that one. This is straight English. He's broken his foot multiple places, out for the season. Does this even move the playoff picture in any way, shape, or form?
Isn't that what happened to Trey Lance too? He broke his foot or his ankle.
Yeah, he broke his ankle. He's already out for the season too.
Yeah, he's already on IR.
The same injury.
The 49ers are still a team to be reckoned with. Right now, I would have to say I still would have to put the Eagles on top in the NFC. As much as that bothers me to say that, right now the Eagles, they got the best record in the league. They do a lot of things well. They can run the ball with Miles Sanders. Hurts will take off on you. We saw what A.J. Brown did yesterday, Devontae Smith. They're supposed to be getting Dallas Goedert back. Their defense is good. So they I give credit where credit due, the Eagles. And then I think last night, what you saw, now I know they were playing the Colts, but we also seen Dallas beat the living snot out of Minnesota too. You guys lost to them at home. We went to their place and beat them 40-3. I think Dallas's defense is an elite defense. They can get after you. And then there's maybe a wide receiver that's coming on over to the Cowboys.
Go to Dallas, man.
The problem is Dallas is just like Buffalo.
No, we're nothing like Buffalo.
They're season warriors, and then it comes to the playoffs, and now
hang on.
Granted, Miami in the playoffs, but I'm just saying that's what it is. It is.
You know that two of those times that we got bounced out of the playoffs, two of those times it was the team in our division that went and beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Actually, 3 times. Twice by the Giants and 1 time by the Eagles. So that's not, it's hard to win in the playoffs. It's really, really hard to win in the playoffs. So, to say that you're choking in the playoffs, it's hard. Did the Chiefs choke in the Super Bowl against the Bucs? No, they just got. Sometimes Jay, you play football. Sometimes you get on the field, and sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow. The other team's just better than you. And you just get like yesterday. You go out there and you just get beat up. And there's not really too much you can do about it. You go out there and the other guy is just better. It's a hard pill to swallow, but that's the reality sometimes. I don't think it's as much of a choke job. It's just something, look, if that's the case, every year 31 teams choke. Every year 30, because only one team wins the Super Bowl.
Because this is the thing. Does Dak Prescott actually get you guys to a Super Bowl? That's the big question. It's like Dak puts all these numbers up all regular season long, and then in the playoffs, he's not there. He's non-existent.
That 49, so they lost to the 49ers last year. That 49ers team that's pretty much the same team that y'all saw yesterday. That's not choking. When you go out there, Tua's putting up phenomenal numbers. He's putting up career numbers. And yesterday he looked like an average quarterback. It's not that you're choking. That defense, Nick Bosa and all them boys that you saw yesterday, that's pretty much the same defense that Dak Prescott saw in the playoffs last year. So it's not choking. That's not choking. It's just you got your ass kicked.
With that being said, we got to move on.
My thing is questioning Dak Prescott's playoff abilities when Tua ain't sniffed them shits yet. Like you can't question a dude who's been there when you ain't sniffed.
It's hard to win in the It's hard to win in the playoffs, and that's why when you see certain things, you all as soon as y'all saw what happened to you yesterday, what y'all do today? What the Dolphins do today after what happened yesterday? What's the first thing y'all did this morning?
They went and got Eric Fisher.
Why? So why would you do that if your team is complete? You saw that your offensive line got their ass kicked yesterday, so you go and get a former number one pick offensive lineman and put them on your team. That's what you're supposed to do. When you see deficiencies in your team, the Eagles, they were averaging, they were getting ran all over. The next week they go and get Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph because they're like, we're going to probably have to see Dallas in the playoffs. We're probably going to have to see the 49ers in the playoffs. If we can't stop the run, it's going to be real. We're going to be out of here real fast. So that's what you're supposed to do.
Did you just call him Ndamukong? Is he a transformer?
So how many years has Josh Allen been in the league?
5 years.
So I want Monster to answer this. How many years has Josh Allen been in the league?
Josh is
5 years.
Yeah, it'd be 5. This is 5.
Okay. How many years did it take him before they made the playoffs with Josh Allen?
Buddy. That's what I'm saying. You're diverting the subject. I said you can't question Dax when you have Tua.
Playoffs, but the guy's in his third year.
Okay, so if he goes in the play, okay, I got you. Oh, I got you, Tank. I mean, the jury's kind of still out. But what if Tua goes and the Dolphins get beat in the first round of the playoffs? Did he choke in the playoffs?
They getting beaten.
If you go on the playoffs and you face the Chiefs in a wild card weekend, or you face the Bengals in a wild card, the Bengals who already beat you.
I'm not getting at that, Mark. What I'm getting at, and my point is, because no one's got Dolphins going to the Super Bowl this year. No one's got that.
You did. You've been chirping for the past 3 weeks.
Not the Super Bowl. I have absolutely not said that ever.
Okay, let me ask you. You still got Tua as a favorite for the MVP after yesterday?
Hell no.
He took a little step back, but he's still there.
After yesterday, I think this is what I want to ask the panel. Monster,
hold on, because we're getting off the subject and we got to get on to these games. Jay Renard, I'm about to mute your mic, brother. I know you love getting involved, but I just got some comments from Mookie Hawkins and
Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I think I just got a caller on the line. Hold on, let's see if this is a caller. Caller, what's up?
What in the hell are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about, man? Josh Allen been in the playoffs since he became the starter. What's the issue?
My guy is back.
Those things-
My
Yeah.
guy's back.
Please don't compare Josh Allen to Tua right now. Stop that.
Mookie Hawkins is back.
So what are we talking about?
Yes, sir. Mook. That's for Jay Renaud. I can't, Jay.
What are we talking about?
You can
Josh
answer that.
Allen, since he's been named the starting
I can't hear
quarterback,
Mookie.
he's been in the playoffs. How many times Tua was named the third quarterback, and how many times he's been in the playoffs? Okay, all right. So what are we talking about?
Just 5 weeks ago, it was, I don't know if he's our guy. That's what I heard. They thought so much about Tua. They were trying to trade for a guy with 24 sexual assault allegations just this very offseason. That's how much they thought about it. That's how much they thought about Tua.
So Marcus.
Well,
No, I mean, let me say this. Tua's always been nice. Tua's always been accurate as fuck since college. He's just left-handed, so it looks weird.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, only thing that I say that's wrong with Tua that teams can scheme for is his height. And that's what you saw yesterday out of San Fran. They schemed for Tua's height. They knew certain situations where he could go with the ball, where he could not go with the ball. And it's like Marcus said, playoff time, they're going to expose your ass for all that good shit you did in the regular season. You know what I mean? So playoffs is definitely his exposure time. So you better be on point when it comes to playoff time, because again, it's a brand new season and records don't mean anything.
And you got some teams out there with some pass rushers. What I saw yesterday was when you get in his face and you put some heat on him. Look, Tua's always been pretty fortunate as far as the types of teams that they put around him. Hell, in college he had Najee Harris, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith. I mean, all of his skill position players are first round picks. So it made him look really good. Then you saw his first couple of years in the league. He had the injury, and then y'all didn't really have any receivers. He comes out this year. You get Tyreek Hill. He looks like a world beater. But the one thing that hasn't changed is they got him listed at 5. They got him listed at 6 feet tall. I don't think he's 6 feet tall. I think the dude looks like he's about 5'10" to me. And whenever you're doing it, he's left-handed and he's short. And he's not that athletic. And unless he gets the ball out extremely fast, which he has been doing, he gets exposed. That's what happened yesterday. So, you got those slow developing plays, and you don't have the offensive line to do that because both of those guys are home run hitters. Jalen Waddle yesterday got erased from the game yesterday. He got locked up yesterday. Jalen Waddle got locked up. Well, you couldn't run. Jeff Wilson Jr. couldn't run. Mostert couldn't run. And all you had was Tyreek Hill. You're not going to win most games when you just got one guy that's doing something. That's just not how it works.
Go ahead, Mookie. Go ahead, Mookie.
You can't look at somebody's downfall and want to say, oh, he's been that. Jalen Waddle been torching teams all season long. He had a bad game, all right? He had a bad game. Yeah, I don't agree with that. And he got hurt. But let me ask you this, Marcus.
Yeah.
Prescott better than Josh Allen?
Uh-oh. Is Dak Prescott better than Josh Allen?
Don't stutter.
You heard the first time.
Prescott better than Josh Allen?
But no, I'm going to always take and here's the reason why. I'm going to always take the good big athlete. But I will say this though. Dak has better.
No. It's a yes or no question. Is Dak Prescott better than Josh Allen?
No.
Thank you. Because what I saw yesterday, and if y'all don't get y'all stuff straight, y'all gonna be getting up out of here in the playoffs in the first round too. I don't because here's the thing. Here, I don't agree with that, Mookie. And let me respond. Here's the difference between Josh Allen and Dak Prescott. The Cowboys have an elite run game. That's the difference. Dak Prescott doesn't have to do. When we make this elite run game, one-dimensional, and they have to throw the ball.
It's not a one. CeeDee Lamb looked pretty damn good yesterday. Michael Gallup had 2 touchdowns. Michael Gallup had 2 touchdowns yesterday, and there's a certain receiver.
We're talking about the coach. If it wasn't for Indy just being scared, the game was 19-20 in the fourth quarter, bro.
Okay, cool.
Only threw for 170 yards.
Okay, I got you. I got you. So why couldn't the Bills beat the Vikings and we blew them out 40-3?
Hey, man, that's what you do with that play. Don't bring the Bills up. He ain't asking about the Bills.
No, because he asked me. No, he asked me who's better. He asked me.
Bad coaching, Marcus. That was bad coaching, Marcus.
Oh, that's bad coaching. That's not Josh Allen. That's not Josh Allen peeing down his leg.
That's bad coaching. That's why we lost those games. Bad coaching lost those games.
Bad coaching.
It was bad coaching.
No, what it is y'all got too comfortable thinking that Gabe Davis. What did get Mr. 3 for 17 or 3 for 171? Even in a blowout game when you're supposed to win, the dude has 2 catches for 15 yards. Your number 2 receiver sucks. That's what the problem is. Your number 2 receiver sucks. Let's get. If we're gonna go there, let's go there. Gabe Davis is fraudulent. He had 1 good playoff game. He had 1 good, phenomenal playoff game, and the dudes had 2 good games this season, the Rams and the Steelers. Gabe Davis sucks. The dude should be having a career year. He's playing with Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, to me, is a top 3, top 4 wide receiver. He should be having Juju Smith-Schuster type success on the other side of Stephon Diggs, and the dude is averaging 3 catches a game. That's what the problem is. So you're telling, come on now. Is CeeDee Lamb better? Is CeeDee Lamb better?
How many catches Noah Brown got? How many catches Noah Brown got?
Noah Brown's not their number 2. Noah Brown's not their number 2. He's been having to play number 2 because Michael Gallup is really their number 2.
Davis. I'm taking Gabe Davis over Gallup.
Oh my gosh.
Facts, Mookie, facts.
Oh my gosh! See, you were doing so good, Mookie. You were doing so good, Mookie. There's no place in this world where
if y'all think last night was America's team and a Super Bowl team, y'all gonna be leaving in the first round too.
Okay. How about Michael Gallup is worthless. Asking you about the Buffalo Bills is like asking SpongeBob SquarePants about Krabby Patties, man. It's like asking. It's like you are when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. I swear.
Come on, Gabe Davis damn near lead the NFL in yards per catch.
That's because he had a 98-yard touchdown on the Steelers. That's going to bring his average up. The man is averaging 3 catches a game. He was 2 for 15. He was 2 for 15 the other day.
He got 7 more receptions this year than Michael Gallup.
And that's Michael Gallup coming off of a torn ACL. Stop it, dude. When it comes to the Buffalo Bills, it's bad coaching or it's bad. This coach needs to be fired. You know who needs to be fired? You know who needs it? Leslie Frazier. For y'all losing in 13 seconds, Leslie Frazier should be fired. That's the guy who should be fired. Leslie Frazier. Y'all keep making excuses for him. Y'all keep making
defense overall the last 3 years.
He's going to be going to Carolina. But listen, Marcus, everybody, including Jimmy Hoffa, know when your ass is up 17 points in the third quarter, you are supposed to run the football. You don't throw the football. You run the ball.
That's why he should be fired. Yeah, you're exactly right. Me and you both coach. Yeah, he should be. And right after that happened in Kansas City last year, he should have been fired. Y'all should have fired his ass on the spot. He should have even been allowed back on the bus after that. But it's coaching. Y'all still kept him around. Hey, by the way, how bad of a coach is Brian Dable? Because all I heard last year was Brian Dable's a bad coach. I think he may end up being the coach of the year. But Dorsey, we're talking about play calling with Dorsey, Ken Dorsey, huh? We're talking about Ken Dorsey?
Listen, you almost lost to the coach yesterday. What are you talking about?
We put 54 points. We put 54 points on him. What are you talking about? We put up a 50 burger on him. What are you talking
about? Hold on, real quick, because we got to get to these games. Mookie is on fire, yo.
What was was the score in the third quarter,
It
Marcus?
doesn't matter. What was the final score?
It matter. It
What
don't
was the
matter.
final score? Our defense is elite. Our defense is elite. We have two good running backs. We have two good.
Yeah, y'all definitely need to.
You don't
Hold
want
on.
to answer the facts.
Hold
You
on.
don't want to answer the facts.
Hold on. Let's get to these games, Mook. Let's get to these games. I know y'all.
The fact are that you lost to the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh my goodness! All right.
That's the fact.
All right. I'm muting.
And we beat them 40-3 at their place. That's the fact.
NFL's a week.
We're still number one in the AFC, Marcus.
All right, let's get to these games, man. Let's get to them because I know. Listen, there's a lot going on. Mookie Hawkins done joined it and it got revved up, fired up. Monster, the Alpha, the Tank, the Fire Starter, and the coach.
Give Monster a break, because I know he's sick of it.
He said, "I know Monster sticker here in that Bills banter." Yo, listen, Mookie is back. Yo, gotta love it. Listen, let's talk about the
Matt Ryan.
Stop. Mook.
You take Micah Parsons away from that team, y'all are trash, bro.
Damn.
Mike,
Take Micah Parsons away, and y'all trash. We're winning games without Von Miller, bro. So y'all Cowboys is not a busters. Tell Jerry Jones to stay out of scrums in 1957 and all that bullshit, since ain't nobody talking about that.
all right, Mookie. All right, Mookie. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers in the Bears game. All right, once again, Aaron Rodgers proving again that he is Chicago's daddy. Once again, there was something interesting that we saw, though. He gave a very long salute farewell to Chicago. Is this Aaron Rodgers' last season as a Green Bay Packer?
Are you asking me this?
I'm asking everybody.
Hell yeah.
You got thrown to somebody. You're the host.
It's over.
Yeah, I will.
What did Jay-Z say? What did Jay-Z say during the Black Album? Gracefully bow out. That's what he needs to do. Gracefully bow.
He's all right.
Nah, we don't. I don't.
San Fran.
Oh.
Going back to Berkeley, baby. It's over.
All right. Monster, your thoughts on that game?
I don't have any. Green Bay is shit. Chicago is shit. I don't give a fuck about either of them teams.
Jay Renard.
I concur.
You know,
Honestly, I don't care.
I will say this though: Chicago's got a bright future, man. Chicago's got a bright future. They're gonna have the most salary cap. They're gonna have the most salary cap next year. They're gonna have a high draft pick. It seems like they found their quarterback of the future. Now they just got, they made a trade. They traded away Roquan Smith. They got some picks. They traded away Robert Quinn. They got some picks.
Guarantee you Justin Fields isn't their quarterback in the future. They're going to draft a quarterback. Chicago another.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're gonna.
Are you kidding me?
To be honest with you, hold on. To be very honest with you, Jay, I actually agree with you. I actually agree with that. You want to know why?
I think they're going to surround him with weapons.
They're going to get that boy. Also,
this is what I think happens, and I said this before on the show. I think that next year they will surround him with weapons and do what they need to do to get him what he needs. Now, if he doesn't produce next year with weapons around him, then his ass is out. And I'm going to be honest, he hasn't thrown one pass this year for over 20 yards. The whole entire season.
Look at his receiving core. I get what his receiving core is. Hold on, before you mention receiving core. I totally get it. But I will tell you that if I'm the Chicago Bears and I see 6 great I won't say great, but I say good quarterbacks coming up in this draft, you're going to be highly upset if you put weapons on Justin Fields next year and you didn't draft a quarterback when you had the opportunity this year to do it, especially the way your system looked and the money that you got.
I talked to Rocco Raquelli on his show just recently and said, yo, I would draft a quarterback, not only put fire up under his ass, but it also lets him know that he got to produce this year. Because if you don't see anything that makes you want to produce, then you're going to continue with the same.
He's on pace to rush for 1,000 yards. There's only been 2 quarterbacks in the 102-year history that's run for 1,000 yards.
Yeah, watch this, Marcus. Yeah. I'm liking the fact that you mentioned rushing for 1,000 yards. This is where I get at you about.
Okay.
You keep always talking about these quarterbacks who rush for 1,000 yards, and Lamar Jackson will not be a Raven next year.
I got you, and I know what you're gonna say. What did Josh Allen do his first year when he first started? What did he do?
I already know what he did.
Tell me what he did. Don't tell the audience. No, but I'm saying though, what did he do as far as passing?
Oh, his passing was terrible. 52%.
Okay, he was 52%. You went and you put some weapons. His starting wide receivers were Cole Beasley and John Brown. You go out and get him a number 1 receiver, he becomes an MVP quality quarterback. Stop it. What you did?
Part of that is coaching, though.
I'm not giving Josh no credit on what he worked in the offseason.
Thank you. That's what I keep trying to tell you.
I got you, but you still gotta have weapons. You have to have guys on the perimeter who can win. You have to have guys.
Aaron Rodgers has it for years.
Easy to make your completion percentage go from 52% to 71%. Why everybody ain't just doing that then?
Right, that's what I'm.
Does everybody have a receiver like Stephon Diggs?
Why did Dak Prescott yesterday against got CeeDee Lamb out there?
I didn't hear what he said. What did he say? Repeat that. I didn't hear what he said.
Why Dak Prescott threw for 60% yesterday with CeeDee Lamb out there?
He torched them. He threw like 3 touchdown passes.
To Stephon
He
Gilmore?
threw 2 to Michael Gallup and one to CeeDee Lamb. I don't know.
170 yards yesterday, Marcus.
How many yards rushing did? Well, part of it too is when your defense scores 2 touchdowns.
We talk about we a running team and all that. So Odell Beckham Jr. ain't coming there because y'all run the ball.
I'll tell you what. I bet you Odell Beckham Jr. does. He's here. Jerry won't let him out the building. He won't let him out the building. He's here in Texas.
About letting black people go anywhere.
He's in Texas. Odell Beckham Jr. He's in Dallas right now as we speak. Jerry Jones will not let him leave out the building.
He's scared like a motherfucker in Dallas too.
Hey, he's leaving tonight. Whatever y'all like it or not, he's leaving. He won't have a contract. He's leaving tonight.
Okay. And when he signs with the Cowboys, I need you right here. I need you. He ain't going to Antarctica with 6 feet of snow with 2 torn up ACLs. He's not going to Antarctica. He's going to stay. He's from Louisiana, which is right next door. He's going to play in warm weather, and he's going to play in the most valuable, the most popular.
What are you talking about? Warm weather? You play the Giants twice a year. You play Washington twice a year. Like
I said, he's
warm weather.
Like, you're talking about Texas. I'm talking about Texas. He's coming to Texas. Let me add one more thing. $10 million a year in Texas ain't like $10 million a year in New York. There ain't no state income taxes. There ain't no state income taxes here. That's another little thing there.
Gotta be we had a bad decision on OBJ party if you go there. You're not gonna win the Super Bowl if he still goes. OBJ go there, y'all still not gonna win the Super Bowl.
Okay, and y'all got Von Miller. Y'all ain't winning the Super Bowl. So okay, we're even.
Talk about y'all. Hold on, y'all. So Marcus, your caveat to this whole situation is that he won't play in cold weather. But he played for New York. He played in Cleveland.
He got drafted by the Giants.
Okay.
He got traded to the Browns. And as soon as he was free to go wherever he wanted to go, he went to Los Angeles.
He went to LA. Okay, he went to LA, won a championship. Yeah, the Rams was definitely.
He got drafted by the. You can't help where you get drafted. He got drafted by the Giants. The Giants got tired of him because of his antics, trying to marry kicking nets. He got traded to the Cleveland Browns. They tried to send him to football purgatory as punishment. And then as soon as his dad got him the hell up out of there and got him to be a free agent, he didn't go to Buffalo. He didn't go to Buffalo. He went to Los Angeles. It's just like them LeBron James fans. Oh, he's from Cleveland. That's why he went. And as soon as he got a chance to get the hell out of Antarctica, he took his ass. I'm taking my talents to Miami. Don't nobody want to live in Antarctica and be snowed in under 6 feet of snow. Even y'all know y'all want to
live. He calling Buffalo Antarctica, but okay, got you. Respect that. I respect the thought. Now, can we?
That work, you go vacation and do what you want to do outside of work, my G.
That's true. When you got money, you know what, Mookie? That's right. When you got money, you can go wherever you want. But where I'm putting my home at, I ain't putting my home in a place where there's 6 feet of snow. And by the way, y'all might want to put a dome on that new stadium y'all got. Y'all might want to add that into the build or whatever like that. We don't want y'all have to making any more trips to Detroit. We don't want y'all making no more trips to Detroit because y'all got 6 feet of snow in the North Pole in Buffalo, New York. Y'all might want to put a dome on that stadium.
Coming from a motherfucker who gets 6 inches when your whole city shuts down.
Insult to injury. Michael Gallup didn't even know what the plans were for OBJ. That's how disconnected y'all is as a team.
They just re-signed Michael Gallup. They just re-signed him this offseason, Mo. He's one of the highest. Michael Gallup's one of the highest. Michael Gallup's one. We got rid of Amari Cooper.
Hold on. One of y'all got to talk at a time.
We got rid of Amari Cooper and kept Michael Gallup, so he is part of our plans.
When OBJ was here, he had dinner with the entire team.
Mookie, when Odell Beckham Jr.
All party, Diggs, Davis, Soap Brown, everybody.
I got you. Don't Mook. This is no disrespect to anybody's city. There's not a person in this world beside you guys that would rather live in Buffalo, New York than Dallas, Texas. He would be royalty here. Think Dirk Nowitzki. Think Dirk Nowitzki. Think of all of those.
Dirk don't play football, bro. Dirk don't play football now. Dirk don't play football now.
We got Troy Aikman, royalty. Michael Irvin, royalty. Emmitt Smith, royalty. Deion Sanders, royalty. You guys be trying to recruit. People, and they as soon as they say Buffalo, most people say hell nah. Antonio Brown laughed at y'all. He laughed at Le'Veon Bell laughed at y'all. Send me to Buffalo. Hell no, I ain't going to no Buffalo.
We got both them bullets.
You really want to know?
Mookie Hawkins, I know you move around. Mookie. Have you ever been to Dallas, Arlington? Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I'm pretty good up there.
Monster, have you ever been to Arlington, Dallas?
Fuck
yeah. Ty Dismucky took me out on the town. He's from Arlington, born and raised.
I'll tell you what, Monster. I see you there with your Santa's elf hat on. You come down here to Dallas, and I promise you, I'll take you out on the town in Arlington and Dallas, and you'll forget about Buffalo in a week. I promise you. I promise you. If Tank took you to Miami, there's nobody in this world that would rather go to Miami, go to Buffalo over Miami. Not one people.
Yeah, people that don't speak Spanish.
Hold on. I'm one of them.
I don't know no Spanish. I ain't going to Miami.
I'm not a big fan of Miami, to be honest with you. And I've been to Miami.
I like Miami food.
I don't like Miami at all, and I've been there twice. I like Orlando more than I like Miami.
Okay, I'm saying that's a short trip. Ain't nobody, guys. I know this is a hard pill to swallow. Ain't nobody lining up to move to cold ass, desolate. My last duty station in the Army was Fort Drum, New York. And you want to know something? I hated it. I hated every minute of it. The ground was frozen and snowed.
You hated Fort Drum? You ain't like Fort Drum?
I hated Fort Drum. And you know what my duty station was before that? Hawaii. I was stationed in Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. Don't nobody want to live in no cold ass Antarctica, shoveling snow and getting the paint eaten off your car from all that damn rainy ass Hawaii.
All right. With that being said, let's get to the next game. All right. So these Vikings you talked about, the Vikings and Jets. I think this game should have been a Sunday night game instead of the Colts and Cowboys. But okay, 27-22, Vikings beat the Jets. Y'all thoughts on the game? I'll start off with Tank. Your thoughts on the Jets? I know you got to be happy they lost.
Yeah, I'm happy they lost. What's more laughable about the Jets right now is the whole hype around White. I don't get it. I mean, the kid's not going to be a starter. I mean, he's only got the job now because Wilson sucks and they got nobody else. I mean, White's decent, but I don't even see the whole hype around this kid. And it's just like the same old Jets, man. That defense keeps them in pretty much every single game. But and I mean, the Jets have some injuries, with what's his name, the rookie there, the running back, Breece Hall.
Yeah, that's a pretty big injury. That's a pretty big injury. For sure,
and that's what I'm saying. It's like, but the thing is with the Jets, if they don't have a quarterback, none of those other weapons are even useful.
Okay, hold on. So hold on. Before any of y'all say anything, I would watch out how I talk about quarterbacks, especially when your team just got beat by, once again, hold on, let's put it up on the screen one more time. There he is, Mr. Irrelevant. You talking stuff about Mike White, and your team just got creamed. It just got creamed, turned into tuna fish by Brock Purdy. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I think if history's shown us anything, you don't have to have. Do you want a superstar quarterback? Yes, every team would love to have a superstar quarterback. But what we've seen in this league is we've seen teams with slightly above average quarterbacks. Guys, Rex Grossman went to the Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Okay, Doug Williams won a Super Bowl. Terry Bradshaw, I know he's got 4 or 5 Super Bowls. Terry Bradshaw was not that good of a quarterback.
Thank you. Somebody said that.
Terry Bradshaw was not that great of a quarterback.
No,
he was a good game manager. What you need from your quarterback is to make 4 or 5 plays a game. You run the football. Damn. You play good defense. You don't turn over. That's the ingredient right there. Run the football. Don't turn over the ball. Play good defense. If you do those 3 things, you're going to probably win 90% of your games. When your quarterback is throwing red zone interceptions, having butt fumbles and things like that, that's when you lose. You just need your quarterback to be somewhat competent. That's what you need. If you do that, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. We've seen some pretty terrible quarterbacks with it. Trent Dilfer, and he just got the Nebraska job. Trent Dilfer, he just got a job somewhere. Trent Dilfer was a terrible quarterback. He played with one of the greatest.
Get back to the Jets and Vikings though.
Mike White is an okay quarterback. If I Mike White, Zach Wilson, I'm not giving up on him quite yet. That's just me. To me, I think the Jets, that's what the Jets' problem is. The Jets kind of have that Cleveland Brown syndrome until they just got Deshaun Watson. They draft a quarterback in the first round, play him for a couple of years, and then they go draft another guy. Put some things around him, beef up that offensive line. They get back
Marcus, wait a minute, Marcus. With Wilson, I think it's a maturity thing.
Yeah.
I really I think it's a maturity thing, and I think that's what's going to prevent him from being successful in the NFL.
I think getting benched and embarrassed, I think that'll humble anybody. But you cannot, if you want to be a functioning organization, you cannot every couple of years be drafting a quarterback in the first round. It's not sustainable. When you're drafting a quarterback every 2 or 3 years in the first round, it is not sustainable. What you do is you go out there and you draft some good offensive. You build that offensive line. You get them some skill position, and you look, kid. We're gonna support you. We're gonna put our arm around you. We're gonna play. Why do you think that? Why did your guy get fired in Miami, the coach? Why did he get fired? Why did he get fired?
You're straying, Marcus. You're straying.
I'm not straying. He got fired because he didn't want Tua. He wanted Herbert. I can't have my first round quarterback feeling like he's not wanted. You have to put your arm around these kids. You're a coach. You be like, look, we need you to grow up, kid. We drafted you with the number 2 overall pick. They drafted Sam Darnold in 2018. He was the number 3 pick. So you draft the quarterback number 3, and then 2 years later, you're drafting the quarterback number 2, and now you want them to draft another quarterback in the top 3 or 4 again? That's not sustainable. You gotta get a kid a chance to be like, look, man, we drafted you number 2. We're gonna roll with you. We're gonna support you. You need to grow the hell up. We're gonna put some things around you. Now let's go. But you cannot draft a quarterback in the top 5, top 3 every 2 or 3 years. You can't do it. Or you can. You could be the Cleveland Browns. Johnny Manziel, Brandon Weeden, Tim Couch, Deshaun Kaiser.
All right, you dropped a lot.
Baker Mayfield.
Marcus, you're smart, some bitch.
Can't do it.
My thoughts on the Jets and the Vikings is, first off, shout out to my buddy Harrison Phillips. I talked to him over the weekend, and I asked him. I said, dude, is your time in Minnesota? I said, how's Minnesota compared to Buffalo? Is it better or worse? And he replied, it's just different. That's all he said. It's not better or worse in Minnesota than Buffalo. Shout out to Harry. The Jets are, let's be honest, the Jets don't have the answer at quarterback. All right, the fact that Breece Hall got hurt is huge. That was a big part of their offense. He was a huge weapon. The Jets have great pieces on defense. All right, the Jets aren't far away, but that one piece that Buffalo was missing for years, that Miami was missing for years, the quarterback. Zach Wilson's not that guy. It's just, it is what it is.
Zach Wilson beat Buffalo.
Shut the fuck up. Everybody beats everybody. It's a week-to-week league. Who gives
I'm just saying though.
My time. You already talked. The Jets will be okay if it's left up to the front office and they make the right moves. But I agree. You take your swing at the quarterback. If you have the resources and you can draft a guy, if you don't have that fucking guy on your roster, you go after the next guy. If Dax wasn't that guy, you would have drafted him. If Tua's not that guy, you would have drafted him. If Josh wasn't that guy, we'd fucking draft him. You go after it because that's the main position in this fucking sport. Out of any position, you need that guy under center. So if you realize early, why waste 4 fucking years? Like, oh, we don't have the capital. If you have the capital and you realize that Zach Wilson isn't that guy, you go after the next fucking guy. Because ultimately, that's how your franchise turns around and becomes successful. You need that fucking guy. Now, you said placeholders. You brought up Trent Dilfer and Doug Williams. Kirk Cousins, perfect example. Kirk Cousins isn't fucking great, but he's serviceable for that offense and what they need him to do. And they play very well on defense. So that's my thoughts on the Jets and the Vikings.
Let me ask y'all this, though, and this is kind of following up with that. You look at a guy and you think maybe you have your quarterback position filled out. Geno Smith, he's been passed around. Finally kind of found a home in Seattle. Do you go and draft another quarterback? He's 32. Do you keep him there? Do you keep him there?
Honestly, I think in the case of him, same thing with Jacoby Brissett. Some guys are drafted to the wrong systems at the wrong times, and it kills their career. I was a big fan of E.J. Manuel at USC. I think him coming here under the regime we had, it fucking destroyed him. It changed his throwing motion. It threw his confidence off. Would he have been great? No. Who knows? But I don't think the kid got a fair shake because of where he was drafted. So is Geno Smith Joe Montana? No. But is he serviceable for the way he's running that offense and that team right now? Sure. You may be able to wait that out another 2 or 3 years to see. if it's continued success. That's what it is, Marcus. You need longevity. If Geno Smith can continue to do this, then yeah, you stick with him for as long as you can until you feel as an organization you need to make that move. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying, though, Monster. They get the Broncos pick for the whole Russell Wilson trade. If you're picking in the top 5, this is what I'm saying. If you're good at quarterback, if the kid's gonna sit, why would I do that when I can go and get a stud edge rusher, a stud offensive lineman? That's what I'm saying. You can't every 2 or 3 years be, oh, he's not the guy. We're going to start all over.
Wait a minute. Seattle got those picks back, though.
What's that?
Seattle got those picks back, though.
I got you, but that's what I'm saying. If you got the Broncos pick, which is going to be like a top 5 pick, okay, for the Russell Wilson trade. Do you go draft a quarterback or do you go get a stud edge rusher? When you got Geno Smith, you're like, okay, we're good at quarterback. We don't have to go and get a 22-year-old kid and start all over when we can go get this elite edge rusher and make our team.
Do you remember they lost those picks originally, Marcus?
They got a whole bunch of picks back for the team.
No, right. But do you remember how they lost the picks? They got those picks from never. They lost the picks because, remember, they went and got Jamal Adams. They gave up those picks, thinking Jamal Adams was going to be so great, and they ended up getting those picks back. Somehow Seattle fleeced those picks back, and we see what Jamal Adams is. I think Geno's fine. I think, in fact, Geno's fine enough to win that division.
And I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. That's why you know when you got a high draft pick, you have to decide because usually the teams that are picking high, they're moving up in the top 1, 2, 3 to get quarterback. Maybe I can move back and pick up some more picks, you know. But the main point I want to make it: you can't every 2 or 3 years be trying to go get a quarterback. You just can't do it. You got to eventually settle with a quarterback and roll with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand that. I understand that totally. In which you see the Seahawks beat the Rams 27-23. While we sitting up here talking about that.
That was terrible, man. That was my survivor pick, man. I nearly lost $500 yesterday.
What a fall off from Super Bowl champions. You lose Odell and you lose Von Miller. Then Matt Stafford's arm takes a shit. And the reason why I'm saying this is because Matt Stafford was my quarterback that I drafted in fantasy to start because I had Cooper Kupp. I'm figuring, oh, fucking Grady at 5,000 yards. Then all of a sudden this year, Matt Stafford forgets how to play fucking football. Well, all right? I got Jalen Waddle on my team. Jalen Waddle's been fine for me. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I had Dax. So then Dax gets injured. I'm like, all right, Stafford's injured. Dax is fucking injured. So then I had to play QB roulette through the rest of the fucking year of my fantasy season. Wow, Waddle produced on my team. I liked Waddle. I had Gesicki too. Gesicki played in my flex a couple games, got me points. But holy fuck, did the Rams fall off? Completely shit my fucking fantasy season.
Well, I think that the main thing that hurt them was the losing the offensive lineman, the one who's on Amazon Prime. Whitworth. Look, again, when I don't care how good of a quarterback is. You saw yesterday, Tank, when your offensive line takes a dump and you get major injuries on your offensive line. I don't care how good your quarterback is. If he's under duress the whole game, he's not gonna succeed. Matthew said. So this is the question that this comes to right here, because you see a lot of teams trying to do this, and you have to decide which route do you want to go. So I pose this question to my Buffalo Bills fan real quick before I go watch Monday Night Football. Would you rather give up all of your picks and go all in for 1 year and possibly win a game, or would you rather just play the long game and see if eventually down the road that you win the Super Bowl? Because that's what the Rams did. The Rams, they sold their soul. The Rams sold their soul and their future they're stuck with these guys. They just gave Aaron Donald a big contract. Jalen Ramsey's got a big contract. Matthew Stafford's got a big contract.
What do you consider selling your soul? What do you consider selling your soul?
When you go,
we're not Matt Stafford. We're not Odell Beckham. We're not old.
No, I'm saying when you go out and you get a bunch of mercenaries, okay? You get a bunch of mercenaries. on these big contracts and you're stuck with them and you got this all-star team and you win a Super Bowl one time or get to the Super Bowl and lose, either or, and then you're in cap hell for the next 5 or 6 years and they don't have a first round pick until 2025.
No, if you don't guarantee me a Super Bowl, if you tell me give me a Super Bowl and you're shit for the next 10 years, give me the fucking ring. Give me the ring. But if you're saying there's a shot we lose or just go to the Super Bowl, absolutely not.
Well, that's what the Rams did. That's what the Rams did. They sold their soul for a Super Bowl, and now they're going to pay. The Rams are going to be terrible for the next 5 or 6 years. You don't have to.
Right. The position we're in, we don't have to do that. The Rams, because the way their team was built with the age and the people they had to sell out and go for that. We're not at that point yet because our team's kind of younger. Now, if we get to the older point of our team, Josh, in another 6-7 years, and we're not there yet, you're absolutely right. I'd sell myself for that fucking championship.
Well, you have some players. You're gonna have to decide on one of them safeties. You're gonna have to decide on the linebacker Edmonds. You're gonna have to make a decision on some of these guys where you're like, okay, I believe y'all have the best safety duo in the league. You're not gonna. One of them guys is what, 31 years old?
That's why I told Torch earlier this season. This is it. This is the best team we're gonna get because as the years goes on, we're gonna lose players. Josh's big contract kicks in. There's gonna be players that need extensions, players that want to test free agency. This right now is the best this Bills team is gonna be for the next 5-6 years because the contracts we have signed, Tre'Davious White, Josh, they're gonna kick in. That costs us a lot of money. You can't keep everybody. So as far as Buffalo goes, you know what I mean?
Let me examine a few of those things real quick. Marcus, number one, let me ask this question. You talk offensive line all the time, right? That no matter how good you are, the offensive line, right? You're not going to be able to do what you want to do, right? So my question to you is, if you know that, right, then how come you've been so tough on Josh Allen when he's one of the most he has been on a team that has one of the biggest offensive line contract signings in the last 3 years. The Buffalo Bills probably have more offensive line contract signings than any other team in the NFL, except for a couple of teams. But the Bills, I guarantee, are a top 5. But why don't you give them that same courtesy?
That is respect. That's why I'm so hard on him. People are always like, "Why are you so hard on Josh Allen?" I'm hard on any first-round pick quarterback. You know, the quarterback that I'm probably the quarterback that I'm hardest on, Baker Mayfield, because when I am brutal on Baker Mayfield because you're the number one pick. I could have picked all of these quarterbacks over you. I could have had Josh Allen over you. I could have had Lamar Jackson over you. And you're a bust, and you just got cut today. He just got cut today. Baker Mayfield just got cut today by Carolina. Okay?
Mayfield now, pussy.
Okay,
Wake up, Baker Mayfield. You suck at football.
Yeah, Torch, you were with me for a whole month. I was arguing with David Clark. Marcus, quit calling him a bust. He's a bust. What do you call a guy who doesn't make it through his first contract and all of these other quarterbacks that come up after him are all pros or in the Super Bowl or having great years or winning MVPs, and you're sitting up there and you're like crap. Yes, you're a bust. If you're the number one he's been in the league a long. I don't draft a number one overall pick to be on 3 teams in 3 years. I draft you to be the foundation of my core of my franchise for the next 10 to 15 years. And you're going to.
And what's funny is they got the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick on their roster, and they both fucking suck.
1 and 3. Sam Darnold was number 3. But yeah, do you see what I'm saying? And these were in the same draft, and these guys were in the 2018 draft with Josh Allen. So yes,
Lamar.
Yeah, so was Lamar.
Somebody tried to tell me Carolina was going to the playoffs this year.
So that's why I'm hard. When you go and get a quarterback, he in the first round, he's got to. When you go get any player in the first round and they don't produce, when I draft you number 1 overall, I expect 3 things: Pro Bowls, Super Bowls, All Pros. I don't draft you to be a journeyman bouncing around from team to team. I draft you to be a cornerstone of my franchise. So yes, David Clark, if you're out there, if you're watching, I stand on what I said. Baker Mayfield is a bust. Now, maybe he goes to San Francisco. Maybe he goes to San Francisco. They need a quarterback now. Maybe he goes, and guess what? If he goes over there, he wins the Super Bowl. I will come on this show or my show or any show, and I will retract and I will give out a statement and I will say sorry. But until then, he's a bust. He's a number 1 pick overall, and he stinks like garbage dumpster juice. That's what it is. I'm gonna go watch Monday Night Football.
Yeah, with that man said, it's been a whole hour and a half. Wow. That went by pretty quick.
Yeah,
pretty
I gotta
fast.
go through your PayPal ran out. This is all you paid for. So
This is all you paid for. We got shows coming up this week. Nevertheless, again, we will go over week 13 and all the rest of the stuff that I had on here. I had the Bengals on here too. Yeah, the city.
Come get it. Come get it.
How many more?
I gotta sell 50 more tickets, man. Y'all need to buy this up here. It's gonna cost me $40 to ship it. I gotta send it through FedEx.
damn.
I can't send it through regular mail. That's why they're like, "How come you?" I'm like, "Dude, I got to send it through FedEx. You can't send alcohol through the regular postal system. I gotta send it through FedEx." All you Buffalo Bills, circle the wagon. Nobody respects us. Buy tickets. Get it.
I got tickets. Fuck that.
You got tickets. You got. I know Monsters got tickets. Tank, come get some tickets. By the way, your profile picture is phenomenal. That is a outstanding profile picture. Tank.
Yeah,
outstanding.
Phenomenal.
Outstanding profile picture. Outstanding.
Yeah. That'll teach you a lesson not to talk stuff the next
So
time.
all you Buffalo Bills fans out there, don't say that Marcus Betts, the Alphabets, has never given you anything. I could have had him put the Cowboys up. I could have had him put the 49ers up. I did that for you. So I don't ever say that I don't care.
He said, I don't give you nothing, but you got to buy tickets. You ain't giving us nothing, motherfucker. You talk about giving us shit.
I got to pay for the artwork. That's a $70 bottle of liquor.
I mean, let's be clear. The 49ers gave the Dolphins.
Take that.
The 49ers gave the Dolphins something yesterday. God, a good old fashioned ass whooping.
All right, I gotta run though for real.
All right.
It's been real. It's been fun, but it ain't been real fun.
I like you guys. I don't like you a lot, but I like you guys.
All right. See y'all later.
See ya.
Get your asses down the road.